Hi there, it's Arlene, and I have another mini album to share with you today. This one I used my Bind It All to bind the pages, and again, because I'm not crazy about the look of the O-wire, I used some cardstock to cover the binding. The back is just plain, and I used a Martha Stewart punch to cut out the edges to give it a bit of a decorative edge. On the front cover, the whole book is using the crepe paper Emma Shoppe collection, and I really like the look of the sort of older retro vintage elements that are in here. But usually whenever I've used or made a mini album, I've used mostly graphic 45, so there was a lot of cutouts. But I found that with this album it was a little bit more difficult because there weren't quite as many pieces to cut out. There were some die cuts that came with the collection, but not too many. And this is a piece from the cover package where you have the collection, and it advertises all the little, you know, the colors and styles of paper that are inside. So I just cut a piece of that to cover the front. This is a cutout from the collection that says My Girl, and I'm going to use this album to put pictures of my now 9-year-old daughter in it and sort of journal about things that we've done together. This is a die cut using the sewing room dress form from Tim Holtz Sizzix. This is a little ribbon rose, or sorry, bow. These are 3 roses from the I Am Roses, and a couple of chipboard Prima pieces here, and just some bling that I stuck down from Michael's, some little gemstones tucked in behind. Okay, so the cover is plain on the inside. I'm not sure what I want to do here yet. I don't really want it to compete with this first page. And I apologize for the lighting. It's dark here, it's nighttime, and so I may have some shadows on this. I hope not too bad. So here's the first page, and I've used some stickers from the collection, some of the die cut elements here, and I've inked everything with Vintage Photo. This is a little die cut from the collection, and this paper clip I actually found at my local grocery store where they had some Valentine's things, and I got a package of these paper clips. Here is a little mat that can be used either for a tag or a photo mat. On the back is a cutout die cut from the collection, and it just slips in behind here. And so this flips up, and there's a space for a photo here, space for a photo here. This is a die cut, and you could journal on the back, tuck a photo in here if you want, or more tags. So that's the first page. The second page, again, is some die cuts from the paper collection, and I just mounted it on some scraps of paper. This is a sticker from the collection, and this page flips up. Here is a place for photos and a little Tim Holtz on the edge brackets die to cut the pocket. And then I just made a little pocket full of tags, and on the back is a Tim Holtz stamp. And I've stamped it. All the stamping I've done has been with the Coffee Bean Archival ink. There's another tag, and third tag or stamping. A little cutout from the collection, which I thought was pretty cute. So that's the second page. The third page, I made a little belly band and another one of the little heart-shaped paper clips here with some stamping on the back from a Hampton Arts hot air balloon stamp, and again a sticker from the collection. This is a photo mat, and on the back, a place for journaling. And the next page. This page is just a photo mat, which I've popped up on some pop dots. I used a Tonic Studio punch here so that you can slide your photo mat, or rather your photo in just on the mat. These are some border stickers, some die cuts from the collection, and I just layered one of the stickers here to make a title for whatever photo I go here. I used a Sizzix oval. Actually, not Sizzix, it was Spellbinders. A Spellbinders oval here to cut out the little castle to just give this page a bit of interest. This is a pocket, and I've used the Tim Holtz on the edge doily die here. I've covered it with multi-matte to hopefully give it a bit more resilience over time. I haven't decided what I'm going to put in the pocket yet. Maybe some tags or photos, and of course I can put some journaling or a picture on the front. On the back I think I will put a picture. On my next page, this was actually one of the pull-out photos where you'd have a photo pull out from the top and the bottom at the same time. But somebody else was looking at this and they pulled on the bottom at the same time that they pulled on the top. So the bottom bit fell off and I've misplaced it in my room here somewhere. So I'm going to have to find it and then fix it. But that's the pull out for the top part anyway. And a tag that I made using the Tiny Tabs and Tags Tim Holtz Sizzix die. This is another dress form from the Tim Holtz die. This is a Hampton Arts stamp and die cut set that I picked up from my local scrapbook shop. It's this one here, and it actually works really well. I stamped it out with the Coffee Bean archival ink, and then I cut it on my Big Shot, and I think that the die cut cuts really closely to the stamp. I just taped it down with a bit of painter's tape so it didn't slip, and it worked out really well. The next page is another photo mat mounted on pop dots with a border sticker from the crepe paper collection underneath, and a couple of die cuts from the collection, a sticker and another die cut just glued down here. This next page is just a little pocket full of tags, and on the end of my twine here, my baker's twine, I put a little of the clotting helm with multi-matte here so it doesn't fray, because I find that this twine tends to fray a bit. So I cut out some tags with the Tiny Tabs and Tags. This one I cut from my Cricut, and after my Place and Time mini, tying all of those little seam binding bits onto my tags, I went right out pretty much the next day and bought the tiny attacher from Tim Holtz, and I find that that worked really well, and it was much, much faster, so a bit of a time saver there. Place for a photo here if you want, and of course the tags back in the pocket. This page flips up, and it has a couple of more tags here, again with some stamping on the distressing and stamping on the back. Where you can write and journal about what's going on in the photo. Here's a photo mat, again with the Tonic Studio corner punch to slide the photo in. This page, I used the Tim Holtz on the edge bracket die, and I made two layered pockets here. A tag with my Cricut cutout, and again a photo mat for some photos, front and back, and that just slides in there, and then the tags back in these pockets. Another pocket made from the photo collection or from the paper collection with the Tim Holtz on the edge doily die. Again, tabs or photos. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there yet. I haven't made anything for it. I wanted to think about what I wanted to put in there. Spot for a picture on the back. The doily die again to bring in the yellow from the piece here. These three pieces are die cuts from the crepe paper collection, a sticker from the collection, a place for either journaling or photos, and a photo mat here on the inside with some stamping of those Hampton Art hot air balloons again, which I think are whimsical and pretty. This page has a pocket with some stickers and die cuts from the collection. Again, the tattered doily die from Tim Holtz, which I just love. I use it as much as I can, actually. I just think it's so pretty. Here are some tags that I made and attached with a tiny attacher. A couple of cutouts from the collection, and you can use these as tags, or I could put smaller photos on them. And again, a photo mat to put a larger 4x6 photo. I prefer to make my albums for 4x6 photos because I just think it's practical. Here's a page where I actually put a 4x6 photo. This is a picture of some, like street art in Seattle from a little weekend trip that I took with my two girls. in the spring, and it was really pretty. So I just slid that in here so you have an idea of how the Tonic Studio punch works. And if I ever wanted to replace the photos or change them, I could do that. A tag here that I cut out with a die cut from the collection. I cut this from the book spines piece of paper from the collection, and then this is just a border sticker I layered across there. And then my last page, a pocket with the book spines paper that I cut out and layered on there. I cut this little under piece with an EK Success punch, and then this was a die cut from the collection. A couple of tags, again, cut with my Cricut, and with the binding attached with the tiny attacher, and a photo mat here, the Tim Holtz stamp, and a second photo mat. It's another Tim Holtz stamp, and then the back page again is plain because I'm not really sure yet what I want to do, but I don't really want my covers to compete with my pages, so I leave them plain until I start to fill them with photos and I get an idea of what I might need or want to put there. And then the back, of course, as you saw, is plain. Okay, so that's my Crate Paper Emma's Collection photo album that I made for my daughter, and I hope you enjoyed that. And this album, actually, I forgot to mention, was loosely based on Clare Charvill, who is Charlie Jones 2686 here on YouTube. It's loosely based on her ABC Primer tutorial, which she has on her site, which is just amazing. Of course, I changed it quite a bit, but I really drew a lot of inspiration from her tutorial on that piece. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.